Something very exciting is happening just 12 minutes drive from Laguna Seca RV Park, and you can be a part of it. It's the evolution of what was known as Wild Things being born as the new Monterey Zoo. Now, here's an exclusive behind-the-scenes visit to this wonderful story. This is RV Dream New Radio coming to you from Wild Things. It used to be called, now it's the Monterey Zoo. Am I right, Charlie?
Yes, you're absolutely right.
And your name is?
My name is Charlie Sammut.
And this is your thing. You started all this.
I did way back in 1983 when we were just Wild Things and doing work for film, television, and education only.
Yeah, that's what we knew about you from our years here in Carmel, is that you sort of started this providing animals for Hollywood.
Right. We would go on film shoots for anywhere from a week to 3 months and come back and start training and pre-training for the next shoot.
And how did this all get started?
It was literally a hobby that got out of hand. It was something I did while I was a police officer in Seaside. And on my days off, I would work with friends who did this for a living. And the long and short of it was I would go away on a shoot and make more money in 3 weeks of filming than I did in 3 months as a police officer. So,
did you grow up in the Seaside area?
No.
Where'd you grow up?
Pretty much here in Salinas. Why I became a police officer, I'm not exactly sure of. I'd always been fond of animals. I just never really knew of or found a career in it.
So as a police officer, every once in a while you'd have to deal with an animal? Was that it? How's that start?
It happened every now and then, and of course one day in my career, something very big happened. I ended up with a mountain lion that somebody was keeping.
So this started in 82?
1983.
83. And it just started, was it in this area where you began it?
Yeah, I had a collection of exotic pets that on my off days I would take to schools and allow schools to come to my facility and visit. And it's just been an evolution, and it continues to evolve today, and now making its biggest change into Monterey Zoo.
Right, and so it's a public zoo now at this point.
Yeah, right now we're still only open for 1 hour a day for tours until we're completely reconstructed. But we're basically pulling all the animals out of California defined fish and game legal caging and replacing that caging with open style natural zoo enclosures and exhibits, of which California has agreed to give us an exemption to build.
Oh, that's great. Well, then you got the county and everybody behind you here, too.
Oh, yeah. It's been a win-win situation for everyone.
That's the tough part, too.
Yeah.
So at this point, you can call up and book the tour, and you can go to see it as the Monterey Zoo. The public can come.
At this point, you can even just show up at 1 o'clock any day, except for Christmas and Thanksgiving. Any day we're open at 1 o'clock, no reservations needed. If you go online, you can look into much more involved tours, our VIP tours, our pachyderm package, or our Walk with the Animals days, which you do need reservations for, but those include a lot more interaction with the animals, a lot more contact with the animals, and they're pretty much private and one-on-one.
So tell me what you have here now at this point. I know we've got the monkey cage behind you. Hi, Guy.
We have over 180 animals here.
Wow.
And ranging from African elephants to spiders, everything in between.
Right. Can we walk around and just take a look a little bit?
Sure.
So this is the monkey area here.
Yeah, this is where we keep all the primates on this side. We got a young baboon here who will someday be introduced.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to call you a monkey when you're a baboon. I know they're sensitive about that. Oh yeah, beautiful.
And he'll be introduced to some younger or some older females as he gets older.
And how do you obtain the animals? Some of them are rescue animals, did someone say?
They all have a different story. I mean, some we actually solicit from breeders. Others, a lot of them are people's pets who realize they didn't make the kind of pets they thought they would.
All right.
They'll call us and ask us if we have room for them. And as we become more and more of a typical zoo, we will probably solicit the animals we feel are necessary for the collection that will most entertain and educate.
Why do you think it's important to educate people about animals?
Well, we have a kind of unique philosophy here, even amongst most zoos. People are only going to conserve and want to save what they can understand. And if they don't understand it, it's out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
And with animals, that means we lose them.
Right.
We're very defensive of the captive population because we don't feel we should ever lose another species.
Right.
How we lost the carrier pigeon is beyond me. And it should just never happen again. And the only way that's going to be guaranteed is if we have a captive collection and we've ensured that we can breed and then work on re-release programs so that we never ever lose another species. But right now we don't have that perfected. Right now the number of elephants dying in captivity is greater than the number that are being born. So if something tragic happens in the wild, we could very well lose elephants.
Right.
It's not it's just not a joke. It could very well happen. So we're very protective of the theory behind collective populations, and therefore as we become more and more a formal zoo, we'll start looking to the other zoos to establish what it is that's most in need of breeding, most in need of help, and pick an animal or two and start dedicating a lot of effort towards those animals.
You give a lot of tours to schools as well. That's all part of it.
We usually do 1 to 2 schools a day.
Right.
We do a lot of adult groups. We have a special program for wounded veterans that's very successful, and the programs just continue to evolve as the need arises and the financing and staffing allows. Everything in this lower part of the zoo, the compound as we used to call it, is pretty much being taken down and relocated.
I see.
So
to sort of make it into a friendlier zoo, is that the idea?
Well, in truth, it's more so that the animals are going to get much, much larger space.
I got you.
So this is a California fishing game required baboon cage. We don't have a choice. It has to be a certain height, certain materials. It has to have certain things clearly defined. Thanks. All right, you tell him. And then when that space is available down here, we'll spread out the smaller ones. So whereas this is a legal baboon cage in California, what you see over there, that big, is going to become the new baboon exhibit.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to go from this much square footage to that.
Right.
Our tigers went from 300 square feet each to 12,000
Oh, that's
in the
great.
new exhibit.
And you have plenty of property here?
We have property, we have the animals, we have the permits, we have everything except the constant, of course, struggle to finance the transition.
The public can help you a great deal with that, can't they?
Well, yeah, just by coming, by visiting, by, we certainly are soliciting sponsors right now for larger donations.
Right.
Each exhibit costs anywhere from $600,000 to $1 million.
Jeez,
And
unbelievable.
quite frankly, in the zoological community, that's nothing.
Right.
It's just nothing to hear of a zoo spending 20 to 30 million on one exhibit. But because we do all the work ourselves, when I'm done here, I'm going to climb on a backhoe and continue trenching. It saves us a lot of money so that we can channel all the donations to materials and get it done faster.
Right.
Things we hope to continue doing, which is again, unlike many, many zoological facilities today, is we don't want to abandon where we came from. We want to continue doing the free contact training, have the kind of relationships we've always had with the animals to do entertainment work, even though they'll be living in a much more formal zoo. So that's what's going to probably separate us the most from a typical zoo in the United States today. Huh? What are you doing?
Who is that? What is that?
Forrest. He's our capuchin monkey.
And when people come, are they get a little hands-on with the animals?
If they book one of the hands-on tours, Forrest is actually one of the animals they get to work with.
Right, great.
Giving you a smile.
You like taking your picture? You like getting your picture taken, Forrest? Huh?
So I'll tell you, why don't you come stand right over here, bring your camera. our biggest challenge, hands down. They are what dictate everything I do on a given day, or everything I can't do on a given day.
For sure.
Everything revolves around the elephants.
Why is that?
Well, because they're so demanding. They require so much care. They're so dangerous. Not anyone can handle them. So, and we are a free contact facility. Buffy back. Buffy back. So, it's a challenge. It always has been. It probably always will be. Huh. What? You see that?
Hi, baby.
Come here, Buffy.
Buffy, hello. You smelly? Huh? Oh, man.
And they share the pen. It's what we call a mixed species exhibit. So they share a pen with a zebra, the two water buffalo, and an ostrich. It's somewhat unique to do mixed species with elephants, but we've had very good luck with it. We've had.
In the wild, they get along in those kind of situations.
Yeah, it's just a matter of how much space and how long they have to acclimate with each other.
Right.
Are they unpredictable?
Back. Elephants, I don't know that I would call them unpredictable. Foot.
Oh, wait.
Lefty foot.
There we go. Oh, how cool.
They're very intelligent, which makes them very dangerous.
Mm.
That's all there into it. The more intelligent the being, the more dangerous the being. So one of the first things we had to do was build a perimeter fence around what we defined as the zoo. Mm-hmm. It's a USDA requirement, an 8-foot 9-gauge perimeter fence, which is this fence you see stretching all around the property here. And so it was literally the first $60,000 we had to come up with and we had to spend. But those were the things that are very difficult to spend money on because they didn't move an animal.
Right.
Right.
And what was even more difficult was when we realized that we had to get people from that level to this level,
Right.
and we had to remain ADA compliant. So
Correct.
what you're standing on right now is an $80,000 ADA ring.
Oh, wow.
Because you have to.
All right.
Right. Right. And like everything I do, we went overboard so that we would feel comfortable
Sure.
knowing that it would
hold a number of people.
work.
Yeah. Water.
We just came out and just started building a vision we had, and watched it evolve and materialize. So the towers, they got more and more complicated as we started building them, and the cats seem to like those the best. They're up
Well, and
there
that's part of
all
it
day.
too, how they take to those.
Right.
Huh?
The pools, I started digging one day, and just got a little carried away. I just started digging and digging and digging.
What, do they love the pools?
Yeah.
I would think.
The big logs were fallen trees on the ranch that we storm damaged.
You have to spend a lot of money on it, aren't
No,
you?
no.
Well, an 18-foot high fence too, where you say regulations 14, huh?
Yeah, it's not even physically possible. And then I ran a hotline around the top. So it's just totally impossible for an animal to get out of there. Hey guys. He who dies with the most glass and the most rock wins. So,
So that really is a trend.
yeah, the viewing windows were a very nice addition that our donor and our sponsor gave us permission to do. They were very expensive. They're bulletproof glass. But it's just so much fun to watch the kids and the tigers interact through the window.
Right, right.
It's just spectacular.
Just beautiful animals.
She's a unique color. She's called a golden tabby,
She's beautiful.
kind of the red head of tigers. And then we have a royal white tiger in the back there. Hey, what are you doing? Come on. Come on.
Wow. Amazing. Now, how did you come across these animals? Is this part of the
These came from a breeder.
a breeder?
Yeah, on the East Coast, a friend of mine.
Oh,
Yes.
amazing.
Are you coming to say hello?
I just love having this screen here.
Oh, yes.
This glass.
So this is where they'll sleep at night.
Rush to come in at night. They get fed, they get bedded down,
Right.
and they have their den boxes, and this is where they actually feel the most comfortable. Right. And we modified and put slide doors on the opposite side, so when we do have to move them or do medical treatment, we can load them into transport cages much easier. Get it done.
Right, so this is, you said, Charlie, this is for the lions.
Yeah, this will be for, well, this is half the lions. This will be for my boys. And we're actually building another one just like it down the way here for girls.
You have to keep them separate.
Yeah. And when these are completed, we'll start on bears.
Charlie, thank you so much for taking us on a little tour of this place. It's just, first of all, the animals are absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
And they all know you too, so it's kind of like walking around with their best friend too.
Yeah, well, they should. They're family to me.
And the growth you have here is very exciting.
Well, we're excited. It's the last, we hope, the last of our evolution, but it's something that we'll be able to leave for a lot of people after us.
Well, it's getting bigger and bigger, and then broader and broader. And then you, we were talking about now you do 1 o'clock tours, 1 tour a day.
Right.
But eventually you're going to be open several hours a day.
Yeah, eventually we'll be open 4 or 5 hours a day and let people stroll around at their own pace.
And what is your timetable on that?
We hope to complete this thing in the next 2 years. If donations and sponsorships afford us the ability to wrap it up sooner, that would be even better.
That was going to be the next question, was how can people help? This is a worthwhile, just an absolutely wonderful thing for Monterey County.
Well, of course, the visits help. You know, the
Tell your friends.
telling your friends. You can go to the website, and there are countless ways to make donations to help us get it done faster. And you know, the sooner we get it done, the sooner each individual animal gets a better environment, a bigger home, a whole new life.
Great. Okay, so we've got a website. We'll put that at the bottom.
MontereyZoo.org.
If they want to do a donation, who do they contact?
It's right there on the website. It's just click and donate.
Great. Charlie, thank you very much for
Thank you.
talking to us. Thanks for the wonderful tour here
you.
on RV Dream.